Yo, I want to speak about this latest school shooting, and that's because as a digital creator, as somebody who has a podcast, I like to report on what I see around me. And sometimes that's celebrity news and silly stuff, but sometimes it's serious stuff like this. Whenever I got an opinion, and I do have a opinion that I've expressed several times, and I'll continue to express because I think that is probably the best option, the best thing for us to do, and that is. I will say, I think that we need to, at every school, install, bulletproof doors and panic buttons. We started with the metal detectors, and I think we need to continue with the metal detectors, in every school. I think when people started to, when the idea of metal detectors was first brought out, people said that it wasn't like they didn't want the school to feel like a prison, or it was, they complained about it. And we have them in some schools. I don't think that they're in all schools, but I think that they needs to be mandatory in all schools. In this case, it wouldn't have prevented anything. But I think that is when bulletproof doors and panic buttons by all faculty is needed. And I would say put them on the walls, but maybe kids might pull them like fire extinguishers. But a panic button, which then locks all doors. And I remember whenever I was in junior high school, big shout out to SPRNet, back in Westlake, Louisiana, where I'm from. They used to have gates, like sectioning off the different hallways. Like if they didn't want you to go down a certain hallway, or it might have been my high school. If they didn't want you to go down a certain hallway, they would have a gate that would literally come down and lock. Now, of course, the gate's not going to stop bullets, but if you made bulletproof ones that were attached to panic buttons, that anytime something crazy happens in the school, you can hit a panic button. And all the doors will lock, and they are again, bulletproof doors, and those hall dividers will fall. And that way, any gunman is trapped. Once the panic button is smashed, it's definitely, nothing is going to be fail safe. I heard a politician say today, and he kind of right. I mean, I know it's heartbreaking to hear the 2 days after a school shooting, but if somebody wants to take lives and they're not afraid to lose their own, it's going to be hard to stop that. It's going to be hard to stop that. It can be deterrents, and I think that those are the ones that I've said just now are the best deterrents. Of course, it's going to cost money, but it is going to be a lot cheaper than what I hear everybody saying. And everybody saying, oh, we need officers, at every school, at every door or whatnot. And that's definitely a good thing, but it presents a problem in some cities. Like, because I stay here in Atlanta. In Atlanta, there's a police shortage out here. So they're not finna put officers in every school. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they could work it out with off-duty officers, but at that point, I mean, schools open from what? 7 to 5, just throwing out a random number, but basically 7 to 5, and so that's a whole day shift. That means that officer works a night shift. I mean, if they rotate it, but that's going to be a tough one. Though it could be done. It could be done. But a part of that is going to be about community, right? If the people in the town want to take care of the town, then they'll sign up to be police officers, and then they'll man the schools. The other one I hear, which is not a bad idea either, and that is teachers should be allowed to carry, period. Teachers should be allowed to carry. I know that's not going to go well with people who are anti-guns, but this is not an anti-gun America. This is still very much a carry. Everybody can have guns. You got the right to bear them. Even the antis, they'll say AR rifles, but at the same time, they got one on the hip. I think that teachers should be allowed to carry. I heard DJ Envy say on the Breakfast Club that he thinks that that's not good. At first, he was a proponent of it. Now he's an opponent. Now he don't believe in it. But I think it's a good idea, and I think his fear might be the fear of a lot of others. Is that what happens if a teacher accidentally shoots a student? Trying to defend the classroom. Well, you know, there's going to be casualties if a gunman shows up to the school, period. The gunman is definitely shooting folks. I think that the deterrent, again, is to allow the teachers to carry. I mean, now, accidents may happen, of course, but and it's unfortunate because this shouldn't have to be said, and it definitely ain't going to feel good saying 2 days afterwards, but if you lose the life of one child because you was trying to stop the gunman from taking the life of many, I mean, that's the casualty of protecting. I'm gonna go back and say whatever the politician said, that he was right, is that if somebody is not afraid to lose their own life, you're not gonna be able to stop him from taking somebody else's. He at least gonna get one. But so there's only things that we can do that's preventative measures, and again, that would be, I think the best one would be panic button by all faculty. That as soon as guns get to popping, the panic button is hit. I mean, that means maybe the gunman will get stuck in the hallway with targets, unfortunately. I mean, but you're not going to be able to stop every scenario. You're not going to be, now the gun, if it was bulletproof, actually, bulletproof, and the school is locked after kids enter the school. Bulletproof doors will stop the gunman. I mean, if you really want to be like the best care, you can put your metal detector, your security, the bulletproof doors, and the doors lock. I mean, pretty much now all schools lock doors once school is in. And the front desk, the only person that's gonna let you in, they gotta buzz you in. I mean, that happens that's been protocol ever since I had kids. Now you can't just walk in nobody's school. So that might be the thing. Bulletproof doors, and you only getting in if you're getting buzzed in, and you need proof to get buzzed in. And then once you get buzzed in, you pass through a metal detector. Maybe have a foyer. You know what I'm saying? Front doors to get into school. Once you get into school, you still in the foyer, and there's another doors just to get inside the school hallways. And in that foyer is metal detectors, and you don't pass through that foyer. And that's the other thing. You don't pass through that foyer without passing through the metal detectors. And we're in a society where everybody knows what to do at a metal detector. And so the front desk watches you walk through the metal detector. Yes, that means you have to take off everything that's metal, put it in a bucket yourself, walk through the metal detector, and retrieve your stuff on the other end. And the whole time, the faculty that let you in that door is watching you walk through the metal detector, take off all your stuff. I mean, yeah, put it in the thing, walk through the metal detector, retrieve your stuff, put it back in, and then she buzzes you in from the foyer to the hall. That's my suggestion. You know what I mean? Because it's really gonna be hard to man every school. I mean, there's a lot of schools in Atlanta. Shit, it's a lot of schools. Yeah, but that's gonna be that's the best bet. Metal detectors, and at least bulletproof doors on the entry to the school. Now, you might not have it on all doors, and the panic button wouldn't be a bad idea either. I don't see how you'll sneak through, but if you just in case you was to sneak in, I mean, because that's the other thing. Unless you sneak in during the changing of classes, you really wouldn't get caught in a hallway between bulletproof gates with other kids. You know, once the panic button is hit, everybody should be in class, right? So that's my suggestion. It costs money, but hey, I mean, how much do you want to protect the kids? And then not only that, you put it on the school in order to get accreditation for your school, you got to have at least bulletproof doors and a foyer with a metal detector. Boom. That's it. That's my suggestion. Yeah. God, prayers up for the family of those 6, you know. Prayers up for the family, and yeah. It's sad. You never want to hear it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. All right, deuces.